Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give a update. I know it's been a while and a lot has happened. So this will be like my 34-week update. When I was 27 weeks, me and my husband went to get another 4D ultrasound. The first 4D ultrasound we went to get, we couldn't see her face because the way she was positioned. We only got to see the back of her head and like her back. So we decided to go back and get another 4D ultrasound, and this time we got to see her face, and I will insert the ultrasound prints we got and also the video because my husband took a video of the whole ultrasound.
Cute. Yeah, eye, nose, lip. Oh yes, eye, nose, lip. Okay. Yeah. Fingers, smelling. Okay.
We got to see her face, and then the doctors there that were doing the ultrasound, they were like, "Oh, so cute." They kept saying, "So cute, so cute," whenever they saw her face. And then I had my 30-week appointment, and I just got to hear her heartbeat, and they measured my uterus, and they told me to keep track of how much she moves. On October 14th, I went to this event. Heidi Murkoff was there. She is the lady that wrote the series What to Expect When Expecting. So she was there and she talked to us, and we all got a book for going to this event, and she signed our book. We got to meet her and she signed our book. She wrote my name, my husband's name, and the baby's name. I forget what else she wrote, but she signed it. We also had lunch and we got to play a few games, and they had a raffle where they raffled off some items like a car seat and a pack and play. I didn't win, which I'm glad I didn't because I already had all those items, so I would have had two if I won. But everyone got to leave with a little bag, a baby book to like keep notes and stuff in, and then she gave us all a portable changing pad. It's like a skip hop one. She gave us this basket that had like shampoo and soap and lotion and baby powder. And then we also got a $25 gift card. So I will insert a picture of me and her here as well. I just recently bought a maternity dress because I wanted to get pictures, but I may not be taking maternity pictures anymore, and I will tell you why when I get to my story. We finally got the room set up how we wanted. I have her name hanging up already, and we finally got the rocking chair. It took like 6 to 8 weeks to get it, so it's finally set up how we want it. We also did our Facebook Live video. I know in my other video I mentioned that we are going live on Facebook and opening all the stuff we got from our friends and family. So if you want to see that, check out our Facebook. It is still up. A few days after I went to the baby shower event, I woke up with a really bad sore throat, and then I got pink eye. Well, I've had pink eye like a million times in my life, so I wasn't worried about it, but like 4 hours after getting pink eye, my eyes started to swell shut, and I'll insert pictures as well. And it started to swell shut, and I was like, okay, well, I've never had pink eye this bad, so I ended up going to the emergency room, and they gave me this ointment to put in it, which was really hard because it's not like liquid drops, it was like ointment. Ointment is very hard to squeeze out of a tube into your eye. So the first day I had pink eye, my eye was like swollen shut, like I could not open my eye. And then after I got the medicine and left the ER the second day, it was still really swollen, but I could open it halfway. Then the third day, I could open it all the way, but my eye was just really red and looked really gross. I'll insert all the pictures here, but if you don't want to see them, then like skip a few seconds because it was not pretty. And just recently, Halloween night. So I go to bed, I wake up, and I have this really bad cramp on my front right side, like in my stomach and in my back. And it's not like a cramp, it was like a constant pain. It felt like a cramp, but like it wasn't going away. So like after an hour of pain, I was like, okay, I'm going to call someone and see if I should go to the emergency room. because they have like nurses lines that you can call and be like, oh, this is happening, should I go to the emergency room? So I called, and long story short, an ambulance ended up coming to the house. They were concerned. They asked if I wanted an ambulance to come to the house, and I said no, and then they ended up sending one anyway. So I was laying in my bed, and they examined me and asked like all what was wrong, and I just told them I was having like a sharp pain on my right side and it wasn't going away. But by the time they came, I already was having that pain for an hour, so when they came, the pain was like already gone. So they're like, yeah, well, you're getting farther along in your pregnancy, so like it's gonna happen. And they're like, we recommend you go to the ER. We're not going to take you by ambulance, though, because it's not anything serious. So I was like, okay, I'm just going to go. Like, they said to go, so I'm going to go. So my husband drives us, we go, and I got seen at the mother, infant, child care section, and they, like, hooked me up to a monitor to monitor the baby, and they said everything was fine. And they asked what happened, and I told them. So I was expecting to go home. I was expecting them to be like, okay, you're fine, you can go home. They come in, and they're like, yeah, you're going to have to stay overnight. You're contracting every 3 minutes. And I'm just like, what? Like, I'm only, at the time this happened, I was only 32 weeks. So I was like, what are you talking about contracting? Like, I was just like not expecting them to say that. I was expecting them to walk in and be like, you're going home. And they're like, yeah, you're going to have to stay overnight because you're contracting every 3 minutes. Me and my husband just like looked at each other like, what? We both thought that we were going to go home that night. That we were just going to be there for them to like examine me and be like, okay, you're good. Okay, so they told me I was contracting every 3 minutes. Then a lady comes and gives me a cervix exam. And she's like, yeah, you're 3 centimeters dilated. And I'm just like, what? Like, I'm 32 weeks. I'm not thinking about being dilated. So they admit me into the emergency room. They put me on a medicine to stop my contractions. But the medicine they gave me, I cannot remember what they gave me. It was making my blood pressure really low. So, like, after they gave me the medicine, like, my heart was just, like, racing. And I, like, just felt so weird. And they're like, okay, like, your body did not take that well. They put me on magnesium. The magnesium helped. It did make me feel really hot, but they told me that that was the symptoms. After a while, they took me off of it. And they're like, okay, we're going to monitor you for 24 hours. And within these 24 hours, if you're not having contractions or anything, you can go home. So I stopped the magnesium, and the next 24 hours, I'm good. Like, I feel fine. I'm not contracting. So this is like Thursday by now. I went in Tuesday, and it's like Thursday, and they're like, okay, you're good. Like, just stay one more day. So I'm expecting I'm going home on Friday. Friday comes, I'm still good, no contractions. And a different doctor comes in, and she's like, yeah, you're not going to go home anytime soon. You're going to be here all weekend. So I'm like, they just told me I can go home tomorrow, and now I'm going to be here all weekend. I would have like a few contractions a day, but they still kept me there for some reason. So I ended up staying from like Tuesday night till Monday morning. That first medication they gave me like made my blood pressure really low. So I had to stay in bed like the whole time. I couldn't get up to go to the bathroom. So every hour I would have to press the nurse's button to get someone to get me a bedpan so I could go to the bathroom. After like my blood pressure was back to normal and I was off like both the medications for a while, they allowed me to get up and move around and go to the bathroom and all of that. The thing that made me mad was that they told me, okay, after you're off the magnesium for 24 hours, if you have no contractions or anything, you can go home. So 24 hours after I've been off the magnesium, I feel fine, and I still can't go home. They gave me another cervix exam, and then that made my contractions even worse. After she examined me, I was having contractions like every 15 minutes. So the next day after that, I was like, okay, I'm going to get to go home today. And a doctor comes in, and she's like, yeah, I will let you go home today, but we just want you to stay one more night so we can monitor you. And I was just like, oh. But finally, on Monday, I got to go home. And I was worried because at first they told me when you do end up going home, you're gonna have to be on bed rest. And I was like, okay, like that's fine. Like I'd rather be at home on bed rest than in this hospital for who knows how long. But the day I ended up leaving, they were like, oh, you're good. You don't have to be on bed rest, but don't do like anything crazy. Like you can still go to the store. So I got out Monday morning. 3 days after, on Thursday, I went back just for a checkup. Everything was good, and they asked me how I was feeling, and so far I've been feeling fine. I haven't been having many contractions. I know the other day I was having contractions like every 10 minutes, but it ended up going away. After that happened and I was in the hospital for a week, we came home and we were just like, we need to be prepared because I am already 4 centimeters dilated. I don't know if I mentioned that, but I'm already 4 centimeters dilated, and I was 32 weeks when I was 4 centimeters dilated, so it was pretty scary. My mom had my brother at 31 weeks, and he was in the hospital for a while, so I was like, well, maybe if it happened to my mom, it's going to happen to me, but I'm so thankful that it did not happen, and they were able to stop my contractions. When I was in the hospital, they gave me an ultrasound, and they said that she was 3 pounds and 14 ounces. So I'm so glad that she was not born because she would have been so tiny. Also, when I was in the hospital, they gave me, I don't know the name of it, but they gave me 2 shots in each of my butt cheeks to help mature her lungs, so that if I did give birth to her, they wanted her lungs to be ready. So those shots were really painful, and they were sore for like a week. Unfortunately, I got really sick when I was at the hospital. I got a really bad cold, and now I have a sinus infection. So like there's like just a lot of pressure on this half of my face, but other than that, I've been good. And when I was in the hospital for that like whole week, his boss at his work allowed him to stay with me in the hospital. He was like, just be with your wife and take care of her. So he was able to stay in the hospital with me the whole time, which was really nice because it was boring. I did want to make a video of what I packed in my hospital bag and what I packed in baby's hospital bag. I already have most of the stuff packed, but I just have to figure out time for when I want to make the videos. So hopefully I can make those videos for you guys before she's here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Bye!